There are caricatures of the epitome of
are
what
cartoon
you expect
people.
that to be.
It's great.
Ironically, I never noticed it before, but now, based on how long this movie's been around in my life, Aunt Bethany is younger than my grandmother.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. My
Because she's
grandmother
like-
is 89.
Yeah.
This is Aunt Bethany's 80th Christmas. He says it. And my grandmother's nowhere near Aunt Bethany,
Yeah.
so this is fucking strange. Anyway.
So she brings the presents in.
Mm-hmm.
One is meowing.
Well, Russ brings it in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, guys, just take it in the living room. No, this is meowing. And he just looks at it and goes, she wrapped up her damn cat. And
Like, then he shakes it, too.
Well, no, he's not. Well, he shakes it first.
Yeah.
The shaking of it later,
Yeah.
that's actually Chevy Chase doing it. I think that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But he just sort of, and then Russ is like, what the hell? Why would you put a cat in a box? He goes, well, they're old and they're confused and they don't have very much money, so they wrap things around the house. And he goes, wow, I can't wait to see what I got. And then Cousin Eddie goes, this one's leaking. So he licks,
Taste test.
He licks it off of Ellen's finger flat. That would be the Jello mold. So
Yeah.
they go.
Oh, lamb.
I do enjoy that she tells Clark, take it in the kitchen and open it up. Then we'd have a cat running around. Well, we can't leave it in the box. So
okay.
all right, so he begrudgingly opens it.
Cut to family dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Catherine,
For making this delicious turkey. Save the neck for me, Clark.
Yeah.
Okay, Eddie.
Okay, Eddie.
And
now,
then,
does Aunt Bethany say grace before or
yes,
after
yes.
he cuts
This
the
is
turkey?
so she says, "Okay, Aunt Bethany, say grace."
What?
And she looks at him and goes, and he goes, "Say grace," and she goes, "Grace died 30 years ago."
The
And he goes,
blessing.
No, he doesn't say that yet. He just goes, "Say grace," and she shakes her head.
Yeah.
The blessing, and he's pointing at his mouth, and she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she says the Pledge of Allegiance. To which Cousin Eddie stands up and puts his hand on his heart.
Great.
Genius. And then, so then they were like, okay, if this looks if this tastes half as good as it looks, we're all in for a treat. Cuts it open, opens like a fucking balloon. She just dried it the fuck out.
Yeah. I knew I left it in too long.
Why are you crying?
Yeah.
Like, Eddie doesn't see a problem
He
here.
sees the heart. I'm like, oh, God.
Like, so you didn't even take the innards out, lady?
Yeah.
What the heck? You've never done this before.
Cut to everyone, like...
Crunching and crunching. The mother's putting it in her wine.
Yeah.
Just anything, and I'm like, I like dry turkey, so this would be fucking heaven for me. This is like turkey jerky for me.
I think it's a little beyond that, though, even.
I'd still eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love turkey, so I'll fucking eat it any way you want to throw it at me.
So, Snots coughs up a bone.
Like, oh, yeah, well, why is he doing that?
Stop feeding from the table. I don't think...
We're not. He's probably nosing through the trash, and they cut to
yeah.
you know. And then Uncle Lewis is just like, hey, Grizz, if you're not doing anything constructive, grab my stogie. Anything else I can do for you, Uncle Lewis?
So the cat, making its way around the tree, gets the wires of the lights in its mouth, kind of drags it behind the chair to do what it needs to do. Unplugs both, I believe.
Yeah, he does. And then, so Clark notices the tree's not lit, so he plugs one in. We're all good. Like, I love how he smiles at the second one.
Yeah.
It's like, just waiting for the audience to go, oh shit. And he's like, okay. Plugs in.
Poof! The bottom of the chair just explodes.
Yeah, and the lights go out and everything like that. Russ hits the breaker, and then they looking around going, what the fuck was that? And then they pull it, they lift the couch. The cat's dead.
Evaporated!
Yeah. And Cousin Eddie with the greatest line of, if he had 9 lives, he just used them all. So then, cut to them pulling the chair out there. It's like, what's that smell? French fried pussycat.
Yeah, French fried pussycat.
And then, basically what it is, he's like, no, it's the sewer. I'm like, you know then!
If you fumigate that chair, it's still good. You're basically telling it
mind if I ask how much that sets you back?
It's like, you can have it, Eddie.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that. He wants to sell it.
Oh.
That's what it is. That's why he's asking how much it set him back, so he has a price to work off of.
Oh, fair enough. This is where the tree and the gifts,
which I don't
then go up in flames because Uncle Lewis fires up his stogie, and because the tree's been dried out because not drink the water.
Yeah. But a big giant flame. My question is, did Uncle Lewis throw his match at the tree?
I don't know.
That's what I can't understand. Because of comedy for later, he has to be using matches.
Yeah.
So he would have had to throw it at the tree for that to happen.
What are you looking at?
Yeah. He's like, what? What is it?
Yeah.
Like, just no idea.
His back is on fire, so they tackle him to put it out. And I'm like, well, at his age, that would break every bone in his body. And yeah, that's it. The fucking tree's done. The gifts are done.
Lewis, look what you've done to my tree.
Like, I think they salvage some gifts and they wrap it in paper for the others.
What ends up happening is Clark loses his shit.
Well, no, he's fine for a minute. Then the doorbell rings.
No. You're right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because it just seems so odd. Because it's sort of, I guess. Yeah, it was after this. Sorry, you're right.
So the courier basically goes, well, he opens the door, and I like that, like, the wreath is still hanging on his arm.
Because he had a hold of the knocker.
Yeah.
So he pulled the knocker off the door, and the wreath is still on his arm, and he's just like, oh, sorry, well, this is, I've got this for Clark W. Griswold. So clearly the boss didn't know his name. It fell between the seat, and I didn't see it. I'm sorry. And he goes, okay, and then shuts the door in his face. I'm like, that dude just did that on Christmas Eve. Give him a couple bucks, man. But anyway.
Hey, he lost it between the seats.
That's true, but still, Christmas Eve. Give him a couple bucks. So he's just like, oh my god, it's my
bonus.
Christmas bonus. And like, oh, well, I didn't want to tell everyone, but with the money, I'm putting in a pool. And they all like fucking cheer.
I'm like, why are they all cheering?
Because, well, what he says after is like,
no,
if there's enough.
Then you cheer.
Well, that's true. But then after, he's like, and if I've got enough money, I'm flying all you out to christen it. Oh, that's great. And then
How big is the fucking bonus, by the way? A fucking pool and enough airfare for like 7 people,
that's
6
people? That's a lot of fucking money. Even for the 80s, man. Like, that's crazy. But I do enjoy that Cousin Eddie goes, I can't swim, Clark. I know, Eddie. That's a little ominous.
And what is his bonus?
It's enrollment to the Jelly of the Month Club. That's the gift that keeps on giving all year round. Huh. And he's just sort of like, because
now everything's processing,
and he's just the wheels are clicking.
The
he's
tree,
like, fuck this,
the bonus, the in-laws, like all the hell that he was like. Because up to this point, I think in his mind, he's just like, it's all going to be worth it. Yep. I'll get that check, and all of this hell that we've been through is going to be worth it because I'm going to get that pool.
I got this. Great. Everything's cool, and then
this is, I think, all this is number one. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. It's this confirmation that it was nothing. Nothing's worth it.
Nothing worked, and that was it. So the
tree's gone. The gifts are gone. I'm broke.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, so this is when he goes on the most famous tirade, because he starts off with just like, if anyone's looking for a last-minute gift for me, I want my boss, Well Shirley, right here, with a big bow on him, so he can find out.
I think that's where Eddie's just like,
And yeah, he did literally. Eddie just goes, While then Clark goes off on a long rant that you heard in the intro, which, yes, I had to include the entire rant in the intro. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing my job. And then just fucking goes ape shit, says the whole thing, and it's genius. Nobody seems to notice Cousin Eddie leaving.
Yeah, who drives off.
Yeah, and then Clark gets out the fucking chainsaw, gets a new tree. I think
before this, he's like, what do you do, Clark? He's like, no, nobody's leaving.
Yeah, because it was like...
It's going to be the happiest Christmas.
When Santa fucking... it's going to be the happiest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. And when Santa squeezes his fat ass down that tree, he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes... No, fuck, what is it? That was the one. The jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. What was the other one? Oh, the happiest since
Bing Crosby tapped dance with Danny fucking Kaye. And they're like, Clark, you've lost it.
Because basically everyone was leaving. And he's like, no, we're not doing this. We're fixing this. So
I like that he has a chainsaw. He's like, yes.
Yeah, because Russ shows up. He's like, Dad, I've been thinking. He pulls him and goes, good talk, Dad.
Yep.
Good.
Chops down the tree,
brings it in, somehow decorates it.
Well, drops down the tree. It falls through Margot and Todd's window, and I think that's the straw that broke the game.
Yeah, they're about done. Yeah.
They're about done. So he brings it in and decorates it.
Puts the remaining presents underneath, I guess the new one. Even one that's in a plastic bag. Like,
what's that noise? No, Aunt Bethany.
Yeah, that's later. No, that's a little later, because he actually still has the chainsaw, and he cuts the fucking newel post, because it's wiggling. So he cuts it like...
oh, no, the squirrel's now, because the squirrel jumps on him.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Ellen, like, was that necessary? And he said, we needed a tree. So I got a tree.
And then that's when he cuts the thing
And then he
down.
says, like, like, I was fixing it. we need a coffin tree.
Yeah.
Like, clearly he's gone insane. And it's like, okay, whatever. And then this is when he's putting the presents underneath. And that's when he notices. And, like, fucking, she just goes, what's that sound? And Uncle Lewis just goes, you couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
What do you mean, sound? You know?
And then Clark eventually just goes, no, wait, I hear it too.
Yeah.
And then he's looking through the tree, and a fucking squirrel jumps at his face.
Oh, gosh!
Jesus. Ah. And then everybody starts running, and they're all hiding.
Where is it?
Yeah.
He turns around, it's on his back.
That's later after he goes in, because they're all hiding going, we can't let it leave the room. And then he goes, where's Eddie? He usually eats these things. She goes, well, he stopped eating them when he found out they're high in cholesterol. Oh. Thank you, Catherine.
I think his plan was like he's going to cover it and bash it with a hammer.
Give me that, Russ. Because he yells Russ, who's right there. He goes, Russ! Right here, Dad. Oh, give me the hammer. What are you going to do with that? I'm catching the coat, hit it with the hammer, and fucking his mom passes out.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay.
No, Doris passes out. Because his mom passes out later in the other room with the squirrel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Doris passes out there. Nora's already passed out. Nora passed out when the fucking squirrel showed up.
And Mom, are you okay? She's motionless.
Mom,
face down.
Don't move.
She's motionless.
And then he just his dad goes, I'm going with you. So they go in. It's like, where is it? I think it got away. And then he turns around and his dad goes, squirrel! And they
all run up the stairs.
And he's got the squirrel on him. They run up the stairs and then the squirrel comes down. They all run down the stairs after the squirrel. And then the dog comes running because the dog broke through where it is. And he starts chasing the squirrel, and they're just destroying everything.
Turning up the house, knock down the china cabinet, the whole house gets turned up. Mm-hmm. Margot, who's had a fucking ass full of this day and this month and these weeks.
Fuck it, you go over there and you slug that creep in the face. I'm not going to hit someone. She goes, well, if you're not man enough to do it, then I am.
Yeah.
So he weirdly goes home. So I'm like, why wouldn't you at least go with her? But no, he goes home because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
And she just goes and just like about to bang on the door goes flying open, a squirrel fucking hits her in the face, and she goes flying down the stairs. And nobody seems to notice that she was there.
Yeah. Well, the squirrel hits her in the face, and then Snots hits her.
Yeah.
Going after the squirrel.
Too, yeah.
And then we get the comic visual of her going back all torn up. Mm-hmm. And, well, Margot, what happened? She slugs Stot the shit out of him. Then kicks him out.
Yeah. And then this is when...
well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a heart-to-heart...
Yeah, you're literally about to say what I was going to say.
He doesn't get the heart-to-heart with his kid, but he gets the heart-to-heart with his dad. So Clark, Sr., brings him in and goes, okay, listen, son.
Nothing's gone right.
Yeah.
Like, just don't worry about it and everything like that. Like, you just let us go. And he goes, no, this is... I wanted Christmas like we used to have. And he's like... Ours were always a disaster too. Like, this is not new. This is what we do. And he's like, well, how did you get through it? And he's like, I had a help from Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
He goes, oh shit. And then it sort of occurred to him, like, yeah, everyone has bad Christmases. It's just sort of, you deal with it and you just remember the good things.
Nothing ever goes swimmingly. You just, again, you focus on the positives.
And then we get the sweet moment of like, Dad, are you going to recite the night before Christmas? He says, no, it's your Christmas, your house, you do it. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
So then they literally cut to him doing it, and it's a really sweet moment. Until he's just like, and 8 tiny reindeers, and an Eddie, an old man in his bathrobe and dog chains. What the hell is going on? And Eddie basically shows up with his boss, Bob Shirley. Frank Shirley. And fucking brings him in the house. And he's just like, what the fuck is going on? And we also cut to his wife calling the cops.
Yeah.
Being this oafish man in a blue leisure suit.
He's a beast of a man. He's gonna
kidnap my husband.
Came in here.
I don't know how they figure out where the hell he was, but they do. Because then he's sort of like talking to him, and he's just like, sorry, we didn't mean to do this. Like, this is what happens. And he goes, you're fired. And he's like, I'm calling the cops and you're fired. And he's like, well, and then Eddie goes, hey,
nothing to do with this.
Clark didn't know anything about this. And he goes, okay, you're still fired and you're going to jail. He's like, no, Eddie, this was me. I saw my bonus and I lost my temper. I shouldn't have said what I said. And he goes, what do you mean bonuses? I
cut those.
I thought I cut those out. And he's like, you did. And then he gets to the point of like, you can't do this. If people are expecting this money, you can't do this. You can't be an asshole and blah, blah, blah. And then eventually the feels get to him.
Well, he sees like the children's faces, the older, the parents' faces, and just like, oh well, seems like a good idea at the time, but then when you see how it affects real people,
he's like, maybe it's not the best.
It kind of loses its luster.
Yeah, so he says, whatever you got last year, add 20%.